Maneva na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
So let's get to the brass tacks. I'm sure you've been following the public reaction which has greeted the award scheme which was organized by Prince Marquis people. Wasn't even the name of the organization, it's escaped me. But you know, before that, I think it must have been a few weeks before that, Eric Ademagbana had put something up on his Facebook wall where he was cautioning and advising appointees not to patronize it, and he gave his reasons. And well, some thought otherwise, and so they patronized it. And then, after the awards, Michael Professor White then put something up on Facebook, essentially saying that, look, he had a call from the same event or from the event company asking him to participate. Now, if he wants to be a headline sponsor, it's 50,000. If you want to buy a table, it's 25,000 Ghana cedis. And that was when he said no, he wasn't interested. And he went ahead to talk about what public appointees, also what government appointees must focus on delivering, and the yardstick for judging whether you're doing well or not is not in, public awards and so on, organized by some private person. And he was even raising issues about conflict of interest, because once you become a headline sponsor, there's always been a temptation for you to want to reward the person by giving the person that kind of award, some kind of a quid pro quo kind of arrangement. So he gave all those reasons. Now, yesterday, the president has spoken, of course, through his executive secretary, and we've heard everything that is said. There are those who are of the opinion that the statement which has been issued by the executive secretary is not enough, and that perhaps the president must crack the whip. Perhaps could the president have asked everybody who has received the awards to return the awards, especially when the statement, in that statement, you read there's a portion where the president said some of these private event organizers you can't trust their credibility. You know what I mean? Of course, that is not to say it includes those who organize this, but some people feel that one of the best tests of the president's resolve in dealing with what appears to be a case of indiscretion on the side of some of these appointees, you say, look, send the awards back, you don't need it. I will do the assessment of whether you're doing well or not. In fact, he put it out there in the statement, said, I will assess you very soon, and I will decide whether you keep your position, or I will change you. What do you make of all these issues, the awards, the reactions, and the president's statement?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity and the brief. Talking about the president, let me state here, I'm in black because the lawyer to the president, Madam Marietta Blue, lost her niece, and the barrier is today. So from here, I'm going straight to be part of the ceremony or the program to see dear sister go home peacefully. So from here, I'm going there. You see, let me say this, and I think I agree with my brother, Honorable Edemapana.
Okay.
When he raised the issue, he first raised it on his social media handle, that this matter of receiving awards generally, I mean, does not sit well with him. I mean, especially when it's coming from private entities.
Yeah.
And so the president is right in cautioning that this should not happen again.
Okay.
I think that we must put matters in perspective, especially as the president has now given his verdict on what has happened. It is fair to also say that this is not the first time such a program has been organized by the same entity.
Right.
In fact, I think they've done it for over 5 years.
Okay.
So I am not sure it is something new, but this is a president who has set a certain standard for his appointees.
Yeah.
And as a result, is cautioning that this should not happen again.
Okay.
I do not think the president has also put a categorical judgment on what has happened. It's only that he is saying that some of these, and you put it rightly, he never stated emphatically that this particular, scheme is of that nature. But he said it is prone to such, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, for me, what has happened over the years. We never got a president who was interested in, condemning it. This is the first time. And he is giving his directives. At the end of the day, appointees are supposed to go by them. So going forward, we hope that this never happens again. Because I have mine. You see, how else will you be rewarded better than the people you serve coming out to say that you've done A, B, C, D, and they are grateful? You don't need any award. Right. We've had a certain history. I don't want to go back there. Presidents awarding themselves before they leave office and all that. We are not interested in that. We have problems on our hands. We want those problems. Because you see, sometimes, if you are not careful, it will be seen as though, and that is why all these issues are coming up. Whether somebody paid money before you were, I'm not in a position to authenticate some of these rumors.
Right.
And I'm not sure Professor Pesa White has been able to put out any information to that effect beyond what he proclaims. And so I would not want to go there. But I think that it's important that this never happens again. Look, get to work for the people, let the people appreciate you, and that's it.
Are you doubting what Professor Mike?
Not at all. As much as I can't also authenticate.
Okay.
I will leave it as that, because
of course, that's his claim.
That's his claim. I do not have any evidence to the contrary or to support what he's saying. Right. If anybody paid money, then the person should be ashamed of him or herself. Why do you pay money to be given an award? If you've worked, and that is the issue. What was it intended for? Yeah. You want to be given an award as what? And for what? The one that gave you the job is here to even assess you. As he's saying, we've all heard that some work is being done, and at the appropriate time, the president will decide whether you stay or you leave. He is giving discussion. He will not be like somebody who, allow people to stay on for 8 years. No, I know President Mahama will not do it. And so he's doing some work. What is important is to go by what you've been given. Make sure you deliver. And the one who gave you the appointment is there. He knows what you are doing better than any other person. I do not even know. As a private entity, how did they assess them? How did they? That they had access to some privileged information about what they were doing, because the president, and then I know the presidency, they have certain indicators they use to, judge appointees, some of which may not even be available to some of us. So, as an awarding institution, what did you look at? What were the indicators? And who were the people who even judged? Who was better and who was worse? And what was it intended for? Who sponsored it? So you see a lot of problems, a lot of questions than answers. I think that this should be the end of it. As humble as President Mahama is, and is not interested in some of these, I think the appointees should also follow suit. There is no need going after that, because you see, for instance, currently there are issues on our hands, floods and all that. If we are not careful, it's as though you are insulting the sensibilities of Ghanaians.
Right.
As if there is no issue, you've done well and all that. We are not saying that we failed. We've done so much in all humility. And you see, what I like about President Mahama is the candor, the honesty. And he's so quick to let us know that we have so much to do. He will not be out there that he solved all the problems of Ghanaians. Yeah. And that is what all appointees should also do. We are not interested in putting chains on our neck and saying that we've succeeded, we've done everything every Ghanaian ever expected. And so this should settle it. Because we are not too sure about what happened in terms of any corruption or paying money or whatever. We are not too sure. And we've never had a very clear message from the president such as this, or ever before even this president. We are not able to really say that somebody should be dismissed because of this. The line has now been drawn. people have now been cautioned. It didn't happen before. Over the years, they used to do this. Nobody has said anything. Now, the president of the land has cautioned. He's drawn the line. So it is after today. If you decide to go contrary to it, then based on what has been released today, it will be used against you. But I think that it will be quite unfair. And I know that is why the president decided to do it this way. And you see, the president decided not to write to them in secrecy. He decided to publish this for everyone to know, so that some of us can also see that the line has now been drawn. If you go against it, the president will crack the whip. But in the meantime, I think it would be unfair to say that for what has happened, somebody should be fired. Indiscretion, I'm not too sure, because this has been happening. Nobody has said anything about it. And even with the rumor out there, it's not been confirmed that actually people paid money. If there is any evidence to that, I will be the first to say that person, because then it amounts to corruption.
Right.
If you ever paid money to receive an award, it means you are corrupt.
Right.
And we cannot allow
the company itself, Big Events, has denied flatly that any of the persons who received the awards or any of the awardees actually had to pay some money. So yes, like you said, in the absence of any hardcore evidence, incontrovertible evidence, you can't sit here and say somebody has gone to pay some money. So that I totally agree with you. Yeah. And there are other angles to this conversation that I'll be broaching, but let me just pick the preliminary thoughts of Mr. Mike Oquaye Jr. on this matter. Mike, what do you think?
Greetings to my brother as well on the other side, and good to meet him for the first time. I like the word which he honestly used, where he said that if anybody were to be involved in what their own, Mr. White mentioned,
right,
they should be ashamed of themselves. And I think it's a good expression to check all of us. But we haven't mentioned some of the people who won the awards, or some of the potential people who should be ashamed of themselves, if that is the case. So let's mention some of them. Dr. Kisa Atufosin, Honorable Emmanuel Amabua, Honorable Linda Okulu, Honorable Dorcas Tofe, Afo Tofe, Honorable Rita Akosua Awati, Ransford Jampo, and also Madam Sedo. Ruth Sedo. Yes, these are some of the people who
are supposedly the awardees.
Yes, look at them, look at them looking so smug and chuffed, having won these awards. This list. First of all, let's start with Atufosi himself. His budgetary fights within his own group of people. I know we'll be talking about that as one of the topics that you gave us, but 1 minute he's fighting with budgetary allocation with Haruna. Next minute he's fighting with budgetary allocation with Agric Minister. Then we have Mr. Galamsey, the one who's in charge of Galamsey himself, Amabua. We know what is going on and how it's not working. I don't want to talk even about the rest, because we don't want to over-personalize it. But they are not performing, and yet we're giving performance awards. And so, for me, as much as my brother has rightly said, there's no proof of anything, the fact that Mr. White was called and offered 50,000 for sponsorship and 25,000 for a table. So what shows the rest are not offered? Because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. They called everybody. And when they call you and you accept, then you accept. And maybe, as for that one, it's difficult to say, because the company who did the awards, a company who are reputable. So we can't talk about
big
that.
Events.
Yes, we can't talk about how the awards were given or whatever. But this is simply, as it's been put in the newspapers and everywhere, Cash4Awards. At least that is what seems to be the case. Because if we look at what Mr. White told us, then where is it far from to fathom Cash4Awards? And Ghanaians cannot forgive NDC. Where Greater Accra flooded at the level that it has, then the regional minister is giving an award that very weekend, where as of now, people's water level in their houses, some are to their knees. Oh, smacks in the face of
Mike,
virtually an insult.
Yeah, Mike, the event company
Yes.
actually explains, and you see, this is
They
why.
explain what,
this is
how,
why,
how they
this is why, this is
criterialize
why-
the awards.
This is why. So right, if it's possible to get Prince Mackay, let's speak to him. Now his phone is off.
No, me,
You
I
see.
don't have a problem with Prince. I have to make this
what
clear.
What they are telling us, we don't have any documentary proof to this. But what the event company is telling us is that the awards were based on the performance.
So that is fine.
2025, 2026.
That is fine. We are not
based on
disputing.
current
No,
happenings.
we are not disputing.
Yes, no, because
that.
of what you said about the flood and everything.
No, I'm just saying that the timing. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm saying the timing of the awards, the very weekend where your incompetence is most exposed. Do we want to go into the things that the regional minister said previously that for me do not put her up as a candidate for an award? What she said in 2025 about the fact that everybody can buy votes, is this a criteria for getting an award? You see, don't push me. If you push me, you will make me put her in the hole more, even more.
It is because,
no,
Mike,
and that's why I want to
don't
go on
know-
the issue.
we don't know the
no,
criteria.
And that's why, no, I'm saying that criteria alone should have gone to a sack, not an award. And she has been pardoned by her president to stay in office. She should stay there quiet. But when you go and pluck her out and bring her to come and present her an award, you are virtually rubbing salt into the wounded eyes of Ghanaians who are crying for many reasons. We cannot condone that you have to go and do cash for votes. We can't condone it.
So, Mike.
So, no, I'm just saying, so if we can't condone such talk and such behavior, then we should rather be silent and not be loud about it. But I am going to the issue, which is that
Mike.
Professor White is telling us something,
Yes.
right? You don't know. I don't know. But I don't think you were called for an award.
No.
Yes, you don't have 50,000.
Yes.
You don't, yes, you don't have it. You can't give that money.
but
So
I'm
nobody
not-
will call
I'm
you.
not a public servant.
No, nobody will call you. But even if that's what I'm saying, but they could have given awards to you here in Metro.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
but
a
you are not
private person. I'm
called.
very public.
Other people were called.
Yes.
Ransford Jampo and the rest, they were called. They went and collected it. And Professor White is also a CEO of a state institution. And he said he was also called because they can see that he has the potential of some 50,000. And in fact, when you add it, we're looking at 75,000 for the award. This is what they are saying. I'm not saying it. Even he doesn't know for sure if that's what happened. Because the person who's saying it is not a journalist. The person who's saying it is not from CPP. So you say that, oh, there's an opposition. The person saying it is an NDC presidential appointee who's telling us that he was offered potential cash for award scenario, which he rejected. So where is the proof that the others, whether it's Dr. Atuforsen or anybody else, may have paid or may not have paid? Because you have to use the word may, because you are not standing there when he gave the money. But the situation is such that that's how it's beginning to look. And that's why it's been termed, not by me, but you, the journalists yourself, have coined Cash4Awards. Now, the president is so embarrassed by this potential corruption behavior that he's had to come out to talk about it and to condemn it.
Okay.
And as my brother rightly said, yes, this may have happened before, it may not happen before, we have not heard about it. But when you go and do something wrong, as my maternal grandfather would say, Abankaba, you know, handcuff. They put handcuff on your hand. They say, oh, Papa police. Now say me now so we are how. I don't know you can't say that. Then the person will tell you that I wasn't a policeman when your grandfather was alive. Or I did not catch him. Or I did not see it. Or I did not hear it. So yes, it could be a caution for even past behavior. But for now, the Cash4Awards is something which is distasteful, something which is unpalatable, and I'm not surprised the extent of it that the president has had to wade into it.
I want us to.
Before that, you see.
Just I beg you, we have to take a break. A very
As for me, I've just finished off from where he went.
We have
If he has a
no,
rebuttal,
otherwise we have the problems with our sponsors. We have to go break. No. Yes. So, fortunately, let's take the break. When we come back, I'll get on our way to respond. This is the MP for the Oquaye constituency. He's also a private legal practitioner. He's called Bernard Bediako Baidoo. Yes.
So a quick one more.
Reaction, yes.
A quick one. You see, let it be said that at this point, there is no proof of any thing untoward with regards to this award. I didn't want to go into what may have happened and what may not have happened. You see, at the moment, let us also establish, and I've said it before, that it's been done over the years. The only difference is that this is a president who has raised the bar and is saying that such things should not happen again. I also think that we shouldn't personalize it, who got it and what may have gone into it, because the event organizers may have their reasons. The same reason they awarded Matthew Koku Prempe when Ghana was undergoing doomsday. You see, if it is bad, let us put everything together and say it's bad. I didn't want to personalize it. I only said that they've done it over the years. If it was bad then it is bad now. But you can't say it's bad now and justify what happened before. In fact, we know most of the appointees of MPP have received the same award before today. So if it is bad, it is bad.
Right.
But the president is saying that going forward, he will not tolerate this. I do not want to mention the name of who has done what and why the person received that. That is what you see, because I'm not even sure the president has access to that information. He didn't organize the program. So he's saying that going forward, nobody should. And the claim of Professor White, at the moment, we do not know whether it is the case. It is possible it's not the case. It's possible it is also the case. But to come here and then on the basis of what he has said, throw in all the things my brother has thrown in would also not be fair to the people, the other people.
You see, Bernard, I get the point you're making, but here's where the challenge is. You know, the message and the messenger are both important in analyzing what is being said. I think that in this country, nobody can say that Professor White is not a man of integrity or has no credibility, just like you. And one of the reasons why people listen to you and they take what you say seriously, because at least as we speak, nobody has any contrary evidence to what we think about you, which is that you're a hardworking man, you have integrity, you have credibility, and so on. So when you speak, it goes, far and wide. Can you, on the basis of this premise I've just established, then begin to even question? Yes, it's true. I mean, as lawyers, you say it's just somebody's claim or his assertion. But can you, in all honesty, say that anybody who decides to take what Professor Professor White has said as basis to then logically say that if what Professor White has said is anything to go by, then we must begin to ask how many people actually had to pay before the awards are given them. Yes, it is true. It is his claim. And a claim or something that is stating as a matter of fact, even if it is fact, cannot constitute evidence, as you lawyers will tell us all the time. But you can't also fault somebody like Mike and other persons who would want to ask legitimate questions that if indeed what Prof has said is true, how many people paid? How much did they pay? And what do we have to do?
I'm not the only one asking. He also asked.
Yes.
If you paid,
so you can't then you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, you understand what I'm saying?
But you see, sorry, but you see,
yes, you can't fault it.
Yes, I agree with you. But is it also not possible, even if because his claim is that he was approached.
Yes, he was approached.
I didn't hear him say he was approached to pay money for the award.
Which is true.
He didn't say
sponsorship or buy a table.
Thank you. And you see, but these are the two he said.
No, You either sponsor, headline sponsor, or buy a table.
So this is his claim.
Yes.
Well, you may say there is a relationship between these and then the collection of the award, but not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Even that.
He said he rejected it because he felt
because but that's his feeling.
No, that's a feeling, but that's not based on the facts. It's not one out of the facts.
And when he rejected it, did he get an award?
No, he said he's not interested.
He chose not to. He wasn't. He didn't even participate.
But wait, awards, you don't have to be interested before you're awarded. In fact, if you are there are people who don't go and take the awards.
No,
but they inform you can reject it.
If you're nominated,
thank you.
You can call them here to organize.
But will you be nominated on the basis of sponsorship only?
No, he hasn't said.
That's my point. My point is that once you money in the hand.
Oh no, please.
So if you don't pay, you won't get anything.
Putting names
push this further. I thought we were moving to the next.
So what we need to ask, we'll move on. But what we need to find out is this: that did this Professor Mike was Professor White's name included in the list of nominees?
Well, we don't know.
No. He didn't receive any award. You
get the award.
Award. We know.
You see, the reason I'm asking this question is this.
No, but did your appointees also pay money before they got award for
this? If he was nominated.
Did your appointees pay money
an award
to the same?
Listen, you are not getting me.
Okay.
I'm saying that, and you remember I was careful when I said that there could have even been some previous issues that may have arisen. You remember I said that?
Yeah.
Yes, I was fair and candid on that. Then I went on to say, and yet, you can't say, when they catch you today with Abankaba, that Minanansu Yebi. That is what I was telling him, but he didn't get the Abebu I was giving him there.
Who has been?
I was talking to him in parables.
Is it also possible that the other appointees were not?
No, wait.
For sponsorship.
Maybe it was the same thing.
The others were not.
It is possible. The same thing.
But it is also possible
that others were approved.
So it's possible here, possible there. Cash4Awards. That one is in the middle.
Let's move on.
Okay.
That's it's just an equalization.
I can't use the word. It's in the newspaper.
Father, some two guys who have petitioned the presidency to get into the bottom of this.
On this matter.
Yes, the cash.
Why? There's no problem. I mean, nobody is afraid.
What happened under Nana?
Yes, the cash.
And didn't they talk about it?
Yeah, they did.
So why is it that when they are talking about your Cash4Awards, then you are eating your check?
Then you took money.
Yes.
Who considered? No, we also concede that. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that in life, if you always keep going back, we will start doing history lessons. The issue now on board after reset is that there's a potential Cash4Awards matter. And that's what we are discussing.
Okay.
Simple.
All right. So, gentlemen, I want us to move on.
Yes.
But the part where the president talks about a reshuffle, it says the presidency will undertake I want us to wrap up on this. He will undertake a comprehensive review of the performance of ministers and chief executive officers. The findings of this review shall constitute a key basis for decisions relating to retention in office, reassignment of responsibilities, and any future cabinet or executive restructuring. Now, this portion of the statement then, for me, brings to the fore what appears to be an early but also intensified, lobbying for John Mohammed's successor. And I'm sure that, Honorable, you have been following with keen interest, the Council of Elders' statement asking people to focus on the job at hand and forget about succeeding President Mahama for now, because if the party or the government is unable to deliver, it doesn't matter who you put out there, the person will struggle in 2020 elections. But of course, prior to that, many weeks ago, you also had Dr. Khalisus Mohammed's opinion piece, or what we call an epistle, where he mentioned the same thing and said, look, those of you are jostling for power and so on, stop it. We have a job to do. Let's focus on the job. We have a social contract for the people. We must be focusing on delivering on why we've been voted into power and stop thinking about, and so on and so forth. Now, do you think, of course, you don't speak for the president. You are a member of this party that's in government. Do you think that perhaps this impending reshuffle, quite clearly, which will happen before the end of the year, would take into consideration some of these happenings? Or you think that it won't really matter because, as some people have said, it's normal. President Mahama is in his second term, technically speaking. And so if people are nursing ambitions to succeed him, it's another year not there. The question rather the question that arises is whether the person is doing their job or not. If the person is doing a job, you are doing a job and you're doing a good job, it won't matter whether you want to succeed the president or not, you must be kept there. But if you're doing a poor job, then you must be reassigned. So do you think this may come up?
Well, so
in fact, if you look at the finance minister and the agric minister's recent spat, some people are reading all kinds of meanings into it and saying that it's all part of this internal, fight as to who succeeds President Mahama. Put all of that in its proper context for us. I think that then come in the impending reshuffle.
Well, so I think that with all these, it's just a storm with the
raging in a teacup.
No, you see, and I'll explain. First of all, if you look at what the content of this letter,
the
president was clear that it will be performance-based. To summarize it, that he would undertake a review based on your performance and determine where you will be. I think it goes without saying. That's how it should be. As to the connection with a successor, I have said this, I am not too sure. Is there anything happening?
Right.
For me, no. You see, I know how you media and sometimes some of our friends would want to, the sensationalism and all that. There is nothing happening. Let me tell you. Yes, the president's secretary put out that piece cautioning that we should be focused. And it is because of what was happening around social media. And most of us, or some of us, were thinking that, what is happening? Is there anything that is creating this uncertainty around the presidency or the government because people want to succeed the president and all that? And then he put it right, that, see, be focused. Deal with what the mandate that has been given you and all that. Yes, the Council of Elders, I've heard that they've said what you said. I think it's also, it's good they do that. Look, this issue of who succeeds the president, you put it right. I do not think that it's necessary at this moment.
Okay.
We have a mandate, and whoever succeeds the president surely would campaign on the basis of the performance of President Mahama. If you don't help him succeed, and you are later chosen to, succeeding, what will be your campaign and the kind of things you will tell the people of Ghana, especially as if in case you are a member of the government? You would have to account. It will not be promises as usual. You have to account for the mandate that you were given and then going forward you do that. But I think that at the moment, I do not even know who will contest. Look, you may have heard whatever. You will be surprised. You will be surprised that on the day when nominations are open, the very people you are talking about today may not even be there. They may not contest. Some of us, we know what we also hear. So please, let's not jump the gun. We have issues to deal with as a country. Speculation, yes, we may talk about, but I think that we are unnecessarily heightening this tension as if there is no issue. This issue about the finance minister and the agric minister, as you claim. These things occasionally, it happens. There was it was the deputy minister who said something, not the minister for agric himself. I think the spokesperson also came out to state what he knew. The matter, have you heard anyone speak about it since then?
Magana Yamutu. Matter
so, died. Yes, the matter died. Whatever it is, if there is something that is supposed to be resolved, it's been resolved wherever. So the fact that somebody said something and it's been responded to, in that note, there wasn't any insult, there weren't any, innuendo. It was clear that no, you said I've received it. I haven't received that. If it is true or not, at the end of the day, the matter needs to be resolved. And for me, as far as I know and what I'm hearing, it's been resolved. How does anybody take this I am not sure, and I don't know whether Honorable Atuforsen is interested. I saw some earlier social media, and it was said that it wasn't true. Eric Opoku, Honorable, I do not know whether he intends contesting. And how is that really an issue? If at the end of the day, nominations are open and they intend contesting, nobody would have issues. But at the moment, the government is focused. If we wanted to conduct elections now, we would have done that. But we think that the government should be allowed space to work. And that is why we think that that should be deferred to later. And so what we have now is to deliver on our mandate, and that's what we should be interested in. And so, except you give me evidence beyond what has been said of anybody that has gone anywhere to campaign or to state emphatically that I'm contesting, when there is no contest, is there even any contest in NDC now? The leader of the party and the government is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and he's focused. So this letter that has been, issued has nothing to do with who succeeds him. He's saying that you were awarded, by a private entity. I'm not interested in that. They are not your appointers. At the end of the day, I appointed you. I have my indicator. I gave you work. I know what I've told you.
Right.
I will judge you in the coming days, weeks, months, and then decide whether you stay there or you are moved elsewhere or you go. It goes without saying.
Right.
Except that maybe over the years, we've not had this experience so much because we had a government who virtually did nothing or literally did nothing about reshuffling until even when his own MPs, members of parliament, came together and said, this finance minister will not help us. Move him. He said, I won't. Until when we were almost gone. We were dead as a country before he decided to move him, just a few months before. So maybe we've forgotten so soon how reshuffles happen. President Kufuor did reshuffles.
Right.
President Mills did. President Mahama did in his first term. President Rawlings did. It's only President Kufuor he did a few, but for the 8 years we thought, and you would agree, I'm sure my brother here would agree with me that if I hear they claim it's one of the reasons they lost the election, that there were supposed to be earlier reshuffles where the president didn't do. I've heard their own people say this. So because we are not used to it, at least for the past few years, maybe that's why we are. Otherwise, it goes without saying, as president, he has that mandate. If you are not doing what he expected or he expects you to do, he would move you. So this is just a reminder. It has nothing to do with who succeeds him. He says it's about performance. When the time is due, I remember in 2007-8, we had how many cabinet ministers contesting under MPP?
Right.
So many of them. But then what the president at the time, President Kufuor, did was that apart from the
17 of them.
Apart from the vice president, if you were interested in contesting, resign.
Yeah.
This is what happened. They all had to resign.
Right.
I remember the president, Akufo-Addo, then foreign minister, had to put his position aside.
Yeah.
And then Alan Chemartin and all that.
Yeah.
So maybe, I do not know what would happen with ours. But maybe when we get there, because of course, if you are campaigning to be the successor of President Mahama, it means at that stage, you would have to put your position down. And then the government will be focused.
See, the reason why I try to draw some kind of a connection to the apparent lobbying or the seeming lobbying to succeed President Mahama is because when this matter came up and the president issued a statement and said that, look, forget about what other private organizations have.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.